Oh man, we've got another Colossus. Привет, игрушка фанатик. Меня зовут D21 Beast. Добро пожаловать. Haha, there's a nice throwback for you guys who remember my Marvel Select Colossus review. And I am really excited to check out this new Marvel Legends Colossus figure. Just in the packaging, the detail on this guy looks pretty amazing, and I love the extra head that he comes with. But as you can see, this is the standard Marvel Legends packaging we're used to at this point. We've got the series logo at the top, we've got a window box packaging that does house the figure inside, as well as his accessories and Build-A-Figure piece. Towards the bottom, we have the X-Men logo, and finally the figure's name. On the reverse side of the packaging, we've got some really nice glamour art for the figure inside. We then have a bio for Colossus in the upper right. And towards the bottom, we have a complete lineup of all the figures available in this Warlock Build-A-Figure wave of X-Men Legends. Alright, Igrushka fanatics, let's get Piotr Nikolaevich Rasputin out of the box and see what he's all about. Bosh moi comrades, this figure is huge! But for all of the height he has just as much to offer when it comes to detail. The costume design for this figure is based on the Simone Bianchi redesign of the Astonishing X-Men costumes that took place right around issue 500 of Uncanny X-Men in the mid-2000s. Bianchi's artwork is famous, or notorious depending on who you ask, for being needlessly complicated, but I think the makeover Colossus received at the time was actually pretty good. The only complaints I have about this figure are that I feel like his head sculpt's just a bit too small for the body, and possibly even sits a little too high on the figure. Now, while the overall body sculpt for this figure is brand new in general, we're probably going to see this larger body mold used again and again as the years go by. But I do like the arms that have been sculpted for this Colossus figure, and we're already seeing these being reused for Death's Head coming out in a couple of months. The wrist bracers look really nice, they've got nice sculpted ribbing, and the paint's pretty clean on my figure. The hands look really great, just like the Colossus hands I remember seeing from the comic book pages, with the actual ribbing on the inside of the fingers on top of the sort of exoskeleton design that Colossus's hands are known for having. And this might be a point to say, or a time to say, that the articulation isn't the best at these wrists. What I'm finding is that the hand doesn't bend back very far because of the bracers. It does bend down all right. On the other hand, though, I have much more trouble getting this to move one way or another. And I don't know if that's because of the wrist bracers, if it's designed to move back more, but I just can't get this wrist to move. So that may be something you run into with your Colossus figure as well. But as we come down the figure, you'll see that he does have some custom boots as well. I do believe the lower leg of this figure is at least partially reused on the Titus Build-A-Figure, but he seems to have an interesting swivel cut here at the shin. Now, if you look at Rectangular's review of Titus, I believe, he said that that's glued down on that figure and those don't move. So it's interesting to see that on Colossus, they actually do move pretty freely. But the paint is otherwise pretty cleanly applied, and there's a lot of sculpted detail on this actual lower piece of the boot. So I like that attention to detail as well. Now, Colossus has an interchangeable head. We, of course, get a standard Colossus head, but we also get the extraordinary X-Men Colossus head, or as Boog's podcast affectionately called it, the Shadowcat Left Me beard. A great looking head, and even the hair is a bit different from the standard Colossus hair that we're used to seeing. Now, I love that this head was included, and if you look at solicits for modern X-Men comics, it almost seems like Colossus is about ready to drop the beard. So this is maybe a flash in the pan look, but it was nice that we at least got it in action figure form. And also, I think, with the bearded head attached to this body, it alleviates my concern that the vanilla head seems too small for the overall frame of this figure. Articulation-wise, this figure has mostly familiar joint styling. He's got a head that looks down that far and back that far and rotates all the way around. For rotation at the shoulder, as well as a hinge to move in and out from the body about that far, although it is worth noting, I'm getting a little bit of damage on the top of my shoulders from the actual corners poking out on the deltoids for this figure, so you're going to want to watch out for that. Bicep swivel here at the shoulder, it's a little tight on my new figure. A single jointed elbow that goes in that far and back that far. For rotation at the wrist, but it is hindered by the gauntlet a little bit. If that wasn't there, that would rotate all the way around. And as I mentioned before, the wrist articulation is a bit finicky with this character. He's got an ab crunch that'll bend forward that far and bend back pretty far. Full waist rotation, a leg that'll move forward that far, move back to just past standing position, upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee, and then he's got a foot that'll bend forward that far, back that far, and he's got that Hasbro ankle pivot, as well as that rotation mid-calf, which we haven't seen since the Toy Biz days. Overall, it's mostly a great range of articulation for such a large figure. And how large, you might ask? Well, Colossus actually comes in at right at 7.5 inches. And because I know you're going to ask, here he is compared to the Series 5 Toy Biz Marvel Legends Colossus figure on the left, as well as the Marvel Select Colossus figure from Diamond Select Toys on the right. Now, I said it when I reviewed the Marvel Select Colossus, this guy is just too tall for your Marvel Legends collection, but I also understand he was the most readily available Colossus figure for a long time. Is it worth passing on this Astonishing 2.0 Colossus if you've got the Marvel Select Colossus in your collection already? To that idea, I say niet. Select Colossus is still too tall in my opinion, and while this new Marvel Legends Colossus is on his way there, I still say he scales better with the rest of your Marvel Legends collection than the Select Colossus has any hope to. And of course, here he is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine.
Hey, Petey, wanna play catch?
Haha, da, tovarish.
Here. Alright, here we go. Hey, Sai, go long.
Try it, and you're both suspended. Alright, toy fans, well, that's my review of the Warlock Build-A-Figure Wave Colossus figure released by Hasbro in 2017. Overall, I think this is a really great outing for Colossus. Despite not being his classic costume, I do love how Hasbro implemented this more modern design. With the interchangeable head and his great attention to paint detail, this Colossus really deserves a spot in your collection. Well, thanks for watching this review, toy fans. I hope you enjoyed it. You can always keep up with me on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast, and I'll see you guys next time.